Welcome to Anish Galaxy. So today I'm going to be reading an Amar Chitra Katha to you. It is called King Kusha. Please, tell me in the comments if you want to tell me more stories like these. Thank you, and let's get started. King Kusha. Sheelavati, the chief queen of the hairless king Okaka of Kushavati, was offered a boon by Indra, king of the gods. You shall have two sons, one wise but ugly, the other handsome but a fool. Which one will you have first? The wise one, my lord. In due course, Sheelavati gave birth to a son. He shall be called King Kusha. 2 years later, she gave birth to a second son, Jayampati. What a beautiful baby! Even as a child, Kusha was conscious of his appearance. I must excel in all the arts to make up for my ugly looks. In the years that followed, Kusha mastered the arts of music, painting, sculpture. And one day, Sheelavati, Kusha is almost 16 years old. I would like to place him on the throne while I am yet alive. But before I do, I'd like to see him married. I too would love to have a daughter in the palace. When Kusha learned of his parents' wishes, he was sad. Would any princess marry an ugly fellow like me? But I cannot tell my parents this. It would hurt them. I must find a way out. After giving the matter a great deal of thought, he hit upon a plan. I will create a beautiful image and ask for the impossible, someone exactly like it for a wife. When the image was completed, Kusha could not help admiring his own work. They will never be able to find a princess half as beautiful as you. He then brought his mother to see it. If you can find me a princess as beautiful as this, I'll marry her. Prince Kusha, the gift of Indra, is highly talented. He will have none but a princess worthy of him. Take this figure he has created and tour the country exhibiting it. When you come across its living likeness, present the image to her father and request him for her hand on behalf of your king. The counselors travel from kingdom to kingdom, exhibiting the image, till at last they arrived at Sagala, the capital of the kingdom of Manda. As usual, they placed the image at a conspicuous spot. Then, now, let us stand away from it and overhear the comments of those who pass by. After a while, a hunchback followed by 7 or 8 maids came by. As soon as we bat, we will. Prabhavati, what on earth are you doing alone at this hour? Should your father hear of this, it will be the end of us. Ooh, my hand! It's a metal image. Madam, what's the matter? Your hand, it's bruised and broken. But the old hunchback soon recovered her calm composure. Ha ha ha! What a fool I am! I mistook this cheap image to be the princess. Ha ha! How could you? I have hurt my hands for insulting her. What is this worthless image compared to my darling Prabhavati? What do you mean? What I say, This image would appear ugly before her, and I am her nurse who says so. The delighted counselors immediately sought an audience with Prabhavati's father. Your Majesty, our king, Okaka of Kushavati, is anxious to place his son, the brave Prince Kusha, on the throne. We request you on his behalf for the hand of Princess Prabhavati. We gladly agree. We would be honored by the alliance. Back at Kushavati, Your Majesty, we have found her, a princess more beautiful than an image. When King Okaka and Queen Shilavati heard the whole story, let us set out for Sagala at once with a large retinue. Yes, let us not waste a moment. When they reached Sagala, they were received graciously by the king, the queen, Princess Prabhavati, and her 7 younger sisters. Later, when Prabhavati came to pay her respects to Shilavati, should this dazzling beauty see my son's face, she will run away from him that very moment. Yet I must not fail my son. Let me see what I can do. When Prabhavati had left, Shilavati spoke to the king of Madda. Your daughter is worthy of my son, but yes, we have an unusual tradition. If she will agree to observe it, we will take her as our daughter-in-law. What is the tradition? A wife is not permitted to see her husband's face till she has conceived. Will she agree? Prabhavati agreed to respect the tradition, and after much giving and receiving of gifts, Okaka and Shilavati escorted their daughter-in-law along with her nurse and a vast retinue to Kushavati. Back at Kushavati, have the city decorated, release all prisoners. The wedding and the coronation of Prince Kusha shall be celebrated today. Neither Kusha or Prabhavati saw each other's face, but how will he place the veena? He must have the sensitive face of a musician. Ah, I can only imagine how she looks by thinking of my golden face, golden image. A few days after the wedding, King Kusha came to Shilavati. Mother, please permit me but to look at my wife but once. You will have to wait until she has conceived. I cannot wait till then, mother. All right, go to the elephant stalls disguised as a keeper. I will bring Prabhavati there. But see that you do not make yourself known to her. Shilavati then went to Prabhavati. If you have not seen your lord's elephants, come, I will show them to you. When Kusha saw Prabhavati as she walked behind his mother, she was enchanted. Is she a princess or a goddess? Determined to find out, he picked up a handful of dung and flung it at her. How dare you, you ugly fellow? I will get the king, my husband, to cut off your hands. She is a princess. Mother, I must see my husband's face just once. No, please don't ask for that. It would be inauspicious. But Prabhavati went on pleading at last. Well, tomorrow my son will be riding through the city. You can open your window and see. I will tell Kusha to send Jampati in a procession to the streets. He can wear Kusha's clothes and ride on his elephant. Poor Kusha was not going to miss the chance of seeing his wife again. Dressed as an elephant keeper, I will ride behind Jampati. How handsome my husband is indeed. I am proud of him. But what an impudent elephant keeper he has. How dare he wave to me? When the procession had passed by, Prabhavati turned away from the window. Did you see your lord? I did, mother. But why do they let such an ugly, impudent man ride behind him? Don't be misled by looks. That man is capable, and the king must have a capable man sitting behind him. Prabhavati was not convinced. No man would be allowed to behave like that, however excellent his servants might be. Can it be that he is King Kusha and they do not let me see him because he is so ugly? She turned to her nurse. Run, my dear. Find out who was the king. The man in front or the one behind. How am I to find him? The king will be the first to alight from the elephant. Go. Don't waste any more time. When the nurse saw Kusha alight first, she was shocked. What? Is that the hideous one, King Kusha? Ah, isn't that Prabhavati's nurse? She is here to spy. He sent for her. I charge you on pain of death not to reveal my secret. She went back to Prabhavati, who eagerly awaited her return. The one that sat in front was the first to alight. Whew, thank God. The second sight of Prabhavati made Kusha want to see her yet again. He spoke to his mother. Well then, if you must enter the lotus pool, conceal yourself and wait. A little later, Shilavati brought Prabhavati to the garden. Oh, what a beautiful lotus pond, my mother. May I bathe in it? Certainly. I'll go back to the palace and send some maids with a change of clothes for you. That lotus is larger and more beautiful than the rest. I'll pluck it for myself. She stretched out her hand to pluck it. A goblin has caught hold of me. I am King Kusha. Prabhavati swooned. When she regained consciousness, she found herself in her chamber surrounded by her nurse and her maids. I was all right. I was right. It was him all the time. Why should I live with such a ugly, hideous man, powerful king though he be? He summoned the counselors who had spoken to her father. I have my chariot ready. I'll return this very day to my parents. But, yes, your majesty. Not knowing what to do, they went and consulted Kusha. Do not stop her. She would be unhappy. I'll go after her later and bring her back with her consent. The Kusha so kind-heartedly let Prabhavati go, he was desolate. 2 days later, by this time she will have reached Sagala. He went to his mother. Mother, I'll go and bring Prabhavati back with her consent. Go, my son, but take care of yourself. Equipping himself with all that he would need, Kusha sent out for Sagala. I will not rest till I win her love. When he reached Sagala, he entered the palace and found his way to the elephant stalls. Who are you? What do you want? Let me stay for the night and I'll play the veena for you. They agreed. Kusha tuned his veena and began to play. In the palace, Prabhavati suddenly woke up. Those pure notes! They can only come from his veena. How I loved to hear them till I saw his face. He has followed me. Early in the morning, Kusha woke up. I must now try to meet Prabhavati without letting anyone know who I am. He went to the royal potter and became his apprentice. A few days later, why, my son, you are so talented. These vases are beautiful. I shall take them to the palace right away. Master, do not forget, this one with these figures is for Princess Prabhavati. I made it especially for her. At the palace, who has made these exquisite vases? I have, Your Majesty. It is not your handiwork. Tell me the truth. Who made them? My apprentice, your majesty. Not your apprentice, but your master. Henceforth he shall make all the pottery for my daughters. You may take the vases to them, however. You may give these gold coins to him. When the princess saw the vases, how delightful they are. Look at this one, I'll keep it. Such exquisite workmanship. The potter came up to Prabhavati. Why, these figures, they resemble me and my nurse. Only he could have made these vases. This he made specially for you, O Princess Prabhavati. She became terribly angry and flung the vase to the floor. I don't want it. It's hideous. Ha ha, our sister behaves as if it were a gift from King Kusha itself. The potter returned and told Kusha all that had happened at the palace. But the king certainly liked your work. Here, these gold coins are a gift to you from him. You may keep the money. It's no use my staying here. I'd better try us from somewhere else. Kusha let the potter and apprenticed himself to the royal wicker worker. A few days later, whoever he is, he's the best worker I've had so far. How deftly his fingers move. What are you making? A palm leaf fan for the eldest princess. See, here she is, standing by this pillar. Remarkable workmanship. I shall take it to the king right away. At the palace. Whose work is this? Not yours, I'm certain. It's the creation of my new apprentice, sir. Not your apprentice, but your master. Give him these gold coins. The moment Prabhavati saw the fan, however, this too is his handiwork. Why does he pursue me? She flung the fan on the floor. Ha ha! It was not your king Kusha who made that fan. So why do you disown it, Prabhavati? Don't you dare show me how such inferior work ever again. The wicker worker returned and told Kusha all that had happened at the palace. Women are strange. I don't know why she do it on the floor in a range. Kusha knew. I'll have to try some other means to meet her. He pondered for a while. Then, I know what. I shall seek service in the royal kitchen. Perhaps. Kusha was lucky. The royal cook had sacked one of his assistants that very day. And don't ever let me see you near the royal kitchen again. So the moment Kusha had approached the royal cook, in fact, I need a help. But you'll have to cook your own meal in the kitchen meant for menials. That is no problem, sir. Kusha soon became an expert cook, better than even his master. Here, you may cook this chop for yourself. An hour later, the king was being served. What a delicious aroma! Is that dish yet to come? No, your majesty. What you smell is that the chop my new assistant is cooking for himself. Then let me taste it. After the king had tasted it, henceforth your assistant shall cook for me and my daughters. And give these gold coins. Kusha was extremely happy when he heard about the king's order. Please keep the coins for yourself, master. I have no use for them. At last I shall be able to see my wife. The next day, I feel sorry for him. Yet I must not let him know that I do, or he will stay on, thinking I've yielded. Kusha, I can't bear the sight of your ugly face. Go back to Kushavati. It is not right for you to waste time here. I'm not going back without you. I want your love and not the throne. I would gladly give up the crown and throne to live near you. When Prabhavati heard of this, she was alarmed. Suppose he declares, I am King Kusha and seizes my hand. No, stop it. Besides, someone might overhear our talk. To discourage any further dialogue, she closed the door and bolted it. Kusha gazed for a moment at the closed door, then went down. She is bound to relent. I'll wait patiently. But 7 long months passed. Kusha toiled on. At last, in 7 months, she has not so much as let me have a glimpse of her. Why do I pine for her? She's harsh and cruel. I will return to my kingdom and my parents. At that moment, realizing how disappointed Kusha was, Indra decided to help. I shall send the same message to 7 different kings, saying that Prabhavati has left King Kusha and returned home. I offer a hand to you. Tell each king that you come from the court of Madda. When the 7 kings arrived at Sagala with their retinues and discovered that they were all for the same purpose, they were furious. He has deliberately humiliated us. We'll have to keep his word to each one of us. They sent a message to the king. Give Prabhavati to all 7 of us or prepare for war. The king was alarmed. I will have to cut her up into 7 pieces and send one to each monarch. How can you do such a cruel thing to your own daughter? If I send her to any one of them, it'll be a war with the other 6. Why did you reject a husband powerful as King Kusha? Let her suffer for it. When Prabhavati heard of his father's decision, she was terrified. She ran to her mother's chamber. Mother! Oh, Prabhavati, I'm helpless. Only King Kusha were here. He is here, mother. Come, I'll take him to you. Prabhavati led her mother to the kitchen. Look, there he is in the guise of a cook. He came here for my sake. She ran forward and fell at Kusha's feet. My lord, forgive me. I have done you great wrong. I am to pay for it with my life. Yes, this beautiful body of mine, of which I was so vain to be cut to pieces, to given into 7 kings to prevent war. What? Will anyone dare touch my dear wife while I am yet alive? But, what about 7 kings? Leave that to me. Go, bathe and adorn yourself, and wait for me in your palace. Kusha settled matters by offering the 7 sisters-in-law to the 7 kings. Then he and Prabhavati went to Kushavati, where they lived happily ever after. Thank you guys for listening. For more videos, please like, share, and subscribe to Anish Galaxy. Thank you, everyone. Bye.